Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're taking a look here at Pepe, seeing what's going on. I get a lot of requests for this one, of course, and obviously it is a coin like all the others, so I do not discriminate. Basically, just take a look at this as biased or unbiased as possible. No bias preferred, right? Because again, you can't attach yourself to the sentiment of a coin. You got to make sure that you understand that logically we're either going up or down based on the technical data we see, right? That's what we're going to take a look at here, of course. So hopefully help you understand how to become a better trader. If you want that for yourself, cryptocash.tech is a website linked down below. We do have an awesome community there where some amazing traders are just kicking some total tail. And a lot of these folks have effectively been with me for a long time. So Alexandra, one of my awesome admins. This is Nate Dogg here. Take a look at this here. 43, 41, 78%, 3 different Bitcoin long trades. So keep up the good work, everyone. Just super proud of you. Happy for you. And at this point, what we want to look at is, of course, some key takeaways here. Now, keep in mind, and again, you can watch my Bitcoin videos and just kind of understand a little bit more. But generally speaking, we're expecting a slight pullback from Bitcoin at this point. Pepe is probably going to follow suit. If we look at smaller timeframes, I'll compare that and show you. Pepe is working side by side with Bitcoin minus the last 24 hours. Okay, last 24 hours, it's ramped up really hard, really fast. And for the most part, we see a correction from Bitcoin. Pepe does the same thing. So you got to recognize that that is a thing. It's not 100% one-to-one, but it is still relevant. Okay, so let's take a look at some stuff here. First of all, the important thing to recognize here is on the RSI, we're getting closer to 70, so we have that resistance wall coming up here. We can also kind of see that reflected on the price action here too. In fact, we should probably reverse these Fibonacci retracement levels just to kind of get perspective on how much higher we could go. We see that 1.618 rejection. I talked about that yesterday. As a matter of fact, here right there at about 162,000, 162 is effectively that strong resistance level. Again, that's a previous support turned resistance, tentative resistance here today. Okay, so if we close below that, it could sign a potential reversal. You also got to recognize too, we have 3 white soldiers here. Well, this doesn't always apply to coins that aren't parabolically running. It's still something to note. In other words, 3 strong green days in a row, typically followed by a 4th day. It's kind of that TD sequential times 2, where we have 2 9 4-hour candles essentially together, 72 hours. You see a pullback shortly after. So not saying you should necessarily short this, but I can tell you that it would make sense for the price to pull back to one of the next key level Fibonacci retracement levels, or this previous support established at 146,000. Okay, so just some things to kind of think about there in the overall sense of things. If we take a look at the moving averages, though, we're back up above here. This does reaffirm that the 50-day SMA holding tight about that 146, 147 range should work as a support level. So we're probably in pretty good shape there in that sense. So be sure to kind of be mindful there. It does look like we have a potential support there as well. So 2 or 3, 4 different types of indications that we have support at certain ranges reaffirms that level, right? So we've got 2 pretty strong support levels here at that, right? That 1.272 Fibonacci at 146, 147. That'd be a decent place to dollar cost average if you're considering it. That's again, if the price even pulls back that far. We don't know. We're converging strong on the MACD here, looking good. And all things considered, we're looking pretty peachy here. The 4-hour time frame, actually, let's take a quick look at the 4-hour. We're above all moving averages. We knew that already. We're well over 70 on the RSI. This is one of those interesting phenomena that occurs in trading where the price action will effectively continue to stay above a certain level. And when you stay above 70, it can only be maintained for so long, but it's still an absolute thing. So with us being above that level, that's somewhat of a support level. I would like to see the price come back down below 70. So ideally the price goes sideways here soon and we get some kind of correction. But again, beggars can't be choosers. If you take a look here at the 9, we can see the 9 on TD sequential followed by 1, 2, 3, 4. We're now, 16 hours of into overtime on this coin. So for lack of better terms, we're not in a position right now where the price action is going to continue any lower, but it's also important to recognize it shouldn't go much higher either. In other words, we should see some consolidation between 146 and 162. Pending today's closure. If we close above 1.618, that might be a different story. But I think that we're going to have to see a red day here tomorrow just for that natural correction from any coin that's running this strong this much. Okay. Keep in mind, volume is increased. It's an absolute thing. It's pay attention to the volume. As it starts to dissipate, which we're starting to see, the price will no longer continue to go higher. It'll plateau and potentially pull back. So as that volume starts to pull back, so will the price with it. So that being said, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the hourly and kind of wrap this up here for you. And I know the screen kind of gets a little kind of funny and convoluted, but we're in this resistance zone. So we're going to have difficulty breaking through that unless we have a strong catalyst. But if we take a look at TD sequential on the hourly, we can see we came up to an 8, got a reset up to a 6. So we're not overextended on the hourly as much, but it's still a big run, and I think we need to see this come to an end. Again, I'm not rooting against it, but I can tell you that generally speaking at this point, we're looking at a situation where Pepe should and will likely continue to progress either sideways or down from here. Going further higher doesn't make a tremendous amount of sense, again, just based on overextension. That's not the main reason to take a trade, but everything we see here so far, being in this resistance zone, it makes sense to get an initial rejection. Okay, rejecting at this point makes perfect sense. But keep in mind here, according to the Ichimoku Cloud, we have all green lights to leave our position open. So by no means do you want to close your position just yet. But if in 24 hours the price is still kind of hanging out here at about 145, 146, we want to reevaluate and see if we break below the cloud or if we stay to maintain above it. Okay, so there's a handful of things that could happen here, but at this point, Pepe is doing some pretty awesome stuff. So very happy to see it back on track here and tentatively mooning again. This is not a moon by any stretch, but absolutely pretty good compared to what it's been doing, right? But again, we can break through this resistance level here between just say 142, which I think is 143 and 176. We should be in good shape to see it continue much further, but I would not be surprised if we see a red day tomorrow based on this being a 3 white soldiers type of candlestick pattern. Okay, so just be prepared for that. I would say that this tentative run should come to an end here soon, and just a short-term pullback would make sense. So I think 146 would be a starting point there. Probably the lowest we're going to see initially. I'm looking forward to working with you. If you want to become a better trader, again, CryptoCash.tech is a site link down below. Help us grow our Twitter community too. Greatly appreciate those who are part of our first 100, getting us going. We started our Twitter here just a week ago and trying to get things on track there to get you guys where you need to go and obviously to help you stay abreast on technical and fundamental data. We've even got giveaways here as well for our premium memberships. Typically once a week or once a month, we're going to be giving those away to help get you on track with the right things, right? So again, awesome stuff here, fun things. We got technical, fundamental data, and we also enjoy interacting with our community, so be sure to check that out. Thanks again so much. I hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you tomorrow's video. Take care.